Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and this is one of our regular features, which has been great for us at our Spotlight show. Thank you to the phenomenal work of Denise Scatina of Scatina Daniels, bringing in the San Diego Rotary periodically to talk about the 4 zillion things they do. We have them on every single day and still not come close to it. So Mia Harenski is president of San Diego Rotary Club 33. How you doing, Mia? Always love having you back. And then someone I've got to know, for a while now, and it's been actually good for me. I'm not sure if it's good for him, but is Jim Gruny. He is the co-chair of the San Diego Rotary Club Military Committee, but he's the community liaison with MCRD, our retired colonel. And anyone that knows Jim, when he touches something, it really turns to gold. And I really appreciate that, Jim. You've been a great supporter of what we've done, of course, on the Spotlight show and working on SDMAC and everything in between. And Classroom of the Future, you have supported us on some things too. So I just can't thank you enough.
Well, you certainly exaggerate my value, but thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let you kick it off with my very cool guest co-host, Sarah Scott, VP of Partnership for Defined Learning. Sarah, fire away.
All right. Awesome. Well, nice to meet you both. So I know Rotary has been around a very long time, but just to kind of frame this, can you share what the mission is of Rotary?
Yes, our mission of Rotary International is to be a humanitarian organization to provide service to people all over the world and whatever their needs are. And here in San Diego specifically, we focus on the San Diego community, and we also have some international projects that we support both in Mexico and currently in Africa as well.
So the Military, Affairs Committee, and our listeners know this because we talk about the military quite a bit. We've been doing this thing for 19 years. But for those very few people who haven't heard it, Jim, just talk about the importance of the military in San Diego County.
Yeah, well, it's the highest density of active duty service members from anywhere in the country is San Diego. So we have a large number, especially the Navy and Marine Corps, but a great Coast Guard presence, and we sprinkle in a little bit of the Army and the Air Force just to kind of round things out.
We got to keep Joe Craver happy. Exactly right.
But it's a huge economic driver in San Diego. About 25% of the gross regional project can be attributed to military related activities. So a big deal in San Diego. And for Rotary, because of that, we have a large population of veterans. A lot of people decide to stay in this great city and area that we call San Diego. And so we have a good number of Rotarians with military experience, and we have a good number that want to help current military members, as well as veterans and military dependents. So they did natural fit.
Right, exactly. Maybe just before we turn over to talk about Camp Enterprise and so forth and your involvement in that, talk about the iconic MCRD.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So MCRD, founded in 1921. So we've been around for a good amount of time. We've been making Marines since 1923, so a little over 100 years now. So our mission at MCRD is we're the headquarters for the Western recruiting region. So every Marine that gets recruited on the western half of the United States, out to Japan and Hawaii, all come through us, and then they come to us to get trained. So we make Marines is our big deal. We transform young civilians into Marines.
Yeah, it's quite a deal, and I'm not sure, Sarah, if you've ever had a chance to see a Marine Corps graduation.
I have not.
I'm just telling you right now,
Wow.
It's a special honor, and thanks to Jim, he invited me to one, and we got the VIP treatment. The VIPs were the Marines graduating. You know, I'm a piker compared to those guys, and it's quite an experience. And we can never take it for granted. Jim's way too humble, and that's just his nature. But of the work that you do, and Commander, our General Ryans and so forth with it. And I know Mia. I mean, listen, this is you love this stuff.
I do. And as president this year, I've had the opportunity to attend a lot of our military service projects. In particular, the one at the USO that we had at the airport in December was just eye-opening for me, and the service that the USO does, and we were just a very small part of it. As these service members were going home to their families before Christmas, their flights were delayed, and the USO and our club helped feed them while they waited for hours and sometimes days for their flights to go home.
Yeah. Without question, we're chatting with Mia Harenski. She is the president of San Diego Rotary Club 33, joined by her colleague Jim Gruny, co-chair for the San Diego Rotary Club's military committee. He's also the community liaison for MCRD. I'm Drew Schlosberg. Listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 19th year, brought to you by the very, very cool folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things in San Diego County, from food insecurity to financial literacy to arts and everything in between. Jim, we'll start with you and we'll tee it over to Mia. Camp Enterprise, what's that all about?
Yeah, so we're in the middle of Camp Enterprise right now. My first experience with it, but we take about 80 or so young high school juniors and introduce them to business. We break them into teams. They come up with business ideas, business plans. And marketing plans, figure out how to finance it, how to get it through, and put together just a great project. And then they kind of compete against one another on who could lay it out. So you take some people that you might think they're shrinking violets when they first come in, and the confidence that builds over the course of time that they're there is really the special thing.
Right. How long has the Camp Enterprise been going on?
50 years.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
And we heard yesterday at our kickoff meeting that the first round of people that went through this 50 years ago, they're now in their 60s. And that's hard to imagine. But we're something that we're very proud of to keep going year after year. And as I told the kids yesterday, something like this doesn't last for 5 decades if it wasn't pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
The Rotarians wouldn't put their time in and the kids wouldn't sign up.
What's the age group?
And they're all high school juniors.
So they're all juniors. So
correct.
They're probably trying to think about when I was in high school. There was barely running water, for God's sake. So
16, 17 years old.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, that sounds good. Sarah, I know when we were chatting yesterday, business is something you're very interested in, entrepreneurship. But you have some interest in Camp Enterprise, correct?
Am I?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I thought you were going to say interested in education.
Well, but also you like you were talking about doing a business podcast, and this is all about business.
Well, I'm curious. I mean, I love that you're doing this with high school juniors, because I think probably even more than when we were in school, there's a lot more emphasis on career and the prep for students who are, once they graduate high school, figuring out what are those next steps. So it sounds like really, such a service. How does Camp Enterprise work? Like, what's the length of time that they have, and what's the process that they go through to, it sounds like they're bringing an idea all the way to kind of ideation.
Yes.
So tell us more about what a student would experience through the process of Camp Enterprise.
Yes, absolutely. So it's 48 hours, literally.
Oh, wow.
And they meet the kids they've never met before. They get put in these groups and they have to come up with an idea, a business plan. They have to figure out marketing and financials. And they're given the information, a packet, but they have a lot of questions. And one of the things that us as facilitators, that every group gets 2 facilitators, we're not really supposed to answer the questions for them. We're supposed to ask questions to help them get to the right answer. But I've been a facilitator, and it was so hard not to just give them the answer because it was so easy for me. But it was a great lesson for me, and I think it was a great lesson for those kids. And so they put it together, and by Saturday at about 1 p.m., they're ready to present in front of these real investors who haven't been up to camp the whole 48 hours, so they don't know any of the kids. And they're presenting Shark Tank style. And you know, I always say they may not win the prize, but they've all won because they've learned to work together and they've learned these great lessons. And yes, they're very stressed out probably today. I'm going to go up there in a couple hours, so I know they're going to be stressed at how it's all going to be put together in 24 hours. But it all works out, and they walk away saying it's such a great experience.
Wow.
Now, Jim, this is done in Julian?
It at a camp called Whispering Winds, which is it's about 5 miles outside of Julian.
Right.
Yeah, kids were having a ball yesterday. So we bus them up there. They all get out. They go through some activities. They go through some briefs. They were all around a campfire last night singing. We had one of our Rotarians with his guitar out playing. And, the interpersonal skills that they get, again, when they walk in, they're all kind of looking around and, kind of shy. But it takes them no time to get together. And each team is put together with people that in different high schools. They don't know each other, and they gel pretty quickly.
Yeah. So how were those 80 chosen?
They're actually, well, you could probably answer this better than I can.
Our club spends a lot of time reaching out to high school counselors because we ask the counselors to recommend students. Sometimes we know students, but we really need the high school counselors to give us students that are interested and would be good for the camp. And then so a lot of our time in the fall is getting the students. And so they apply for the camp. And then from there, they're in the camp and then they're just brought into the group.
Are they interviewed at all to make sure so they want to do it? So do you take more than 80 and are some, eliminated just because they don't fit the group? Or do you?
We've not had to eliminate before.
Interesting.
The parents have to sign off. They have to show interest enough to at least apply for it. And then for the most part, those counselors are recommending them. And so we've not needed to eliminate. I think the most we can have is 90. We started the week at 87 and we got down to 80 because some kids dropped off, some kids were sick.
Yeah.
And so it always seems to work out. 80 is our sweet spot that we'd like to be at.
Right. And are they under any type of socioeconomic level, or that's whoever wants to do it?
Our goal is to have students from all over the county, all different high schools. Public schools is our main focus, but private schools as well are do attend. Yeah,
we come back from break. I want to talk more about how that works. What is the end result? There's a prize, obviously, with this. Can you share, think about this, some of the ones that have been some of the winning things before, what they've done and how they've done this? Then I'm going to ask Jim, he can think about this now. How would he have done if he was in this? Okay. Probably he'd done very, very well when we returned with Mia Harenski. She is the president of San Diego Rotary Club 33, joined by her colleague Jim Gruny, co-chair for the San Diego Rotary Club's military committee and the community liaison for MCRD. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, nation's longest-running community podcast in our 19th year, brought to you by very cool folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. Just so grateful to be joined by my guest co-host, Sarah Scott. She's VP of Partnership for Defined Learning. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight in the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, chatting with our good friends, our frequent guests from the San Diego Rotary Club, Rotary 33, Mia Harenski. She's the president, joined by her colleague, Jim Gruny, co-chair for San Diego Rotary Club 33. He's on the military committee. He's also the community liaison for MCRD, joined by my guest co-host, Sarah Scott, VP of Partnership for Defined Learning. Sarah.
Yeah, well, I had the same question as you, Drew. I'm curious of some of the winning ideas that you've seen the students come up with and present.
Yes. So it was before my time, but I heard one of the most famous ones that won years ago was the idea of ordering, having a software, some kind of technology where you order food at your table at a restaurant. And I think at that time, everyone thought they were a little bit crazy, but what are we doing right now? And so I think this was 15, 20 years ago. And that's always the one that's sort of, held out there is this actually came to be. And then the year that I facilitated, my group won the prize. And their idea was a little bit more simple, but it was a sort of monthly subscription for gardening seeds or plants, and that's out there, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing is already happening, but they presented it. It wasn't a brand new idea. They didn't know it wasn't a new idea. They thought it was, but it was the way they presented it and marketed it that got them, I think, the winning prize.
So when they do the presentation, are they to use any bells and whistles they want? Can they do commercials? Can they do graphics? Can they do radio ads? What can they do?
They can, but we have very low technology up there on purpose.
Okay.
So it's got to be a little bit more creative, and I think, instead of just creating some kind of screenshot or some using AI technology, they have to get that message across with a lot less technology than they're used to.
Right. And then, Jim, who are they presenting to?
A group of individuals largely from outside of the camp presentation, so they're kind of unknown to them. So they come in and they're thinking, all right, these are investors that we have to really pitch on our product, and then they'll judge them on how creative they are, what kind of idea they have, how well is their business plan put together, and come up with a winner.
Now, they're in groups of how many? There's 80 that do this. Are they in groups of 8, groups of 10? How does that work?
Yeah, it's about 10.
So there's 8 groups that do it of 10, right? Mm-hmm. In that aspect of it. Okay. And then do they choose a spokesperson, or do they all have to participate in this?
They all participate. There is one person that's more on the marketing side. They have a sort of finance person, marketing person, a CEO. There are set roles that they're required to fulfill, but they all do part of the presentation, the final presentation in front of the investors.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
No, I was just going to ask, in the beginning, it sounds like it's like project-based learning, right? But I was wondering then, what's the starting point for them? Is it create any business that you think would be successful, or are there more parameters around that?
It's really just whatever business they want. They have the idea and they all throw out ideas. And then usually, I kind of wondered if when I was facilitating, is someone's feelings going to get hurt because their ideas weren't picked? But they all seem to just naturally gravitate towards one idea. And they seem to, again, without our support and without our stepping in, they seem to really focus on the one that they thought that could win and that would be doable.
Yeah, and so how many judges are there, Jim?
3, if I'm not mistaken. And if I hesitate on some of these questions, this is my first time through the camp, so I've yet to see it all the way through.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to the presentations myself, so I can see how this plays out.
Now, do you spend the night up there, correct?
No, I do.
You did? Okay.
So my particular role is security, which is really keeping the girls in the girls' cabin and keeping the boys in the boys' cabin.
That's tougher than finding cougars, I'll tell you that. Up there. Is it? How's the weather? Is it cold?
Yesterday and last night were not bad at all.
Right.
We're hoping we don't get any moisture tonight.
It's supposed to rain?
Yeah, it's a possibility. But it hadn't been too bad yet. It's been nice.
Right. And are there other activities besides working on their plans? You mentioned a campfire and stuff.
They had a campfire where they were singing.
Yeah.
There's going to be a great talent show tonight, so they all put together some stuff and come out and entertain each other. They have a recreation time where they can go hiking. There's a large game room. They can, so they can just kind of intersocial kind of activities.
Right. And those activities don't necessarily have to tie Mia to their business plan, correct?
Not at all.
Right.
No,
So
it's just icebreakers. It's just, the team building kind of aspect and sharing, especially with the talent shows, sharing who they are. So we've had some amazing singers, spoken word performances. It's been really great. And the students are all really supportive of each other.
Right, exactly. So obviously, been doing this for 50 years, right? Have any of and you mentioned there's some folks that were 60 or whatever they are now, right?
Yeah.
But have any of their kids gone through it since they did it in 1952, whatever the case may be, or whatever the number is?
Yeah. I think
or
more than we
80 or whatever.
Yeah, the more than we know about, but we do hear stories here and there of well, my kid did or I did this years ago. That's why I'm saying yes to my son or daughter going. We have a few counselors this year that did it in the 80s. And so that's why once we got connected with them, they were big supporters of helping us get enough kids.
Right. And again, you don't care. I mean, if they didn't come up with anything, it could have been an idea that came up the year before or whatever. They could be, how many of them actually do the same idea in the same year? Is that rare?
I think it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I do. And that's okay because then they're going to come at it in a different angle in terms of marketing and things like that. But I've heard it's not very common.
Right. And is it split up? Is it even by gender? Is it 40 guy?
Full mix.
Full mix. Okay. Yeah. Very good. From all parts of the county and all this. Man, I'm trying to think. Boy, would I fail at this thing?
I would have too at a junior.
No, trust me. I'm not sure if I even have had a creative idea in that aspect of it. So, what can we do? To support Camp Enterprise and moving forward and so forth. Not this year, obviously. It's already in play. I'll start with you on that. Maybe.
Yeah. So, just supporting all Rotary clubs and our Rotary clubs. If you're interested in hearing more about Rotary, you can reach out to us at our club's website, San Diego Rotary, or you can reach out to a Rotary club that's listed on our district's website. There's 60 Rotary clubs in our district here in San Diego and Imperial County. We meet on Thursdays at lunch in Liberty Station, which is not easy for everyone to get to at that time. So there's morning, meetings for some clubs, lunches, evenings, all over the county. So if you're interested, go to district5340.org and look for a Rotary Club. Or you can reach out to us and we'll help you find one.
Right, exactly. Jim, how long have you been involved with Rotary?
Just about 4 years now. So
4 years.
I'm a relatively new guy with Rotary, but I'm just going to kick in on the question that you just had.
Please,
you guys have such an extensive network in the education community in San Diego. Spread the word. Just let them know this is a great opportunity for some young kids who really want to get in and broaden themselves and kind of grow.
Yeah. Sounds
let other folks know.
Spectacular. Do you guys? How do you get the word out about Camp Enterprise? Oh, you said you work through
the
counselors.
Schools. We're just sometimes cold calling counselors. We used to have a really big network, but before the pandemic, and then a lot of those counselors moved around or left, so we had to really just start over. And this is probably the first year that we're back 100% full board and making those connections. But sometimes we're just cold calling or cold emailing those counselors at the schools.
And is there a cost for students to attend?
100% free.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So all the food from the moment they get dropped off to the moment we bus them from Liberty Station up there, and then we bus them back on Saturday evening, and everything's taken care of.
What do the kids say? I mean, I just was a camper myself, not at Enterprise, but I mean, overnight camp. I just think it's such a great experience for youth, and then that you're bringing in this, business piece of it. What do the students? I mean, I'm sure witness transformation just in that 48-hour period. But what do they say that they're leaving with?
Some of them say with tears in their eyes that they didn't have confidence before Camp Enterprise. But getting up there in front of a supportive audience really gave them that confidence. Some say it sparked their interest in business or something in that area. And some said it really helped them also with their college applications they're going to start filling out very soon. That they were a little bit lost on what to put down in their essays. I've heard we've made a lot of essays, and in the camp and the camp experience. So it's something that I think is just it's just priceless. That this camp that we provide that opportunity for.
That's really great.
We're chatting with Mia Harenski, president of the San Diego Rotary Club 33, joined by our colleague Jim Gruny, co-chair for the San Diego Rotary Club 33 Military Committee, talking about Camp Enterprise. Is it in its 50th year now?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. We had one unfortunate year of the pandemic that, it was planned and paid for and it didn't happen. So we feel bad for those students, and they got the opportunity to attend the next year.
Right. So, Jim, you've heard about Camp Enterprise, obviously, but this is your first one. Has anything surprised you that, boy, I've heard about this, but boy, I didn't think this was going to happen in a very positive way?
Yeah, I mean, I think how quickly the kids come together is the biggest surprise, because you see them when they get together and they're getting ready to go on the bus. You could see the look on their face like, oh, what am I getting myself into? They might be having second. I've seen that look on a lot of recruits who are coming into the Marine Corps. But within the first evening, after they've been together, the interpersonal skills that they've built and the friendships that they make really quickly is probably the thing that was most surprising to me. I probably shouldn't be surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised, let's say.
Right. And I know you were saying, Mia, that you're not supposed to coach the people, right? As much as you want to say something. Have people approached you and asked for advice, and then you've had to, say, hey, listen, we can't.
Not me personally, because I'm not one of the facilitators. But okay. Every facilitator has a story, and they uniformly talk about, man, the hardest thing that I had to do was not answer all the questions. Was not give them the answer.
But they could have asked you one, and you could have answered
on the slide.
See if they figure that out.
All right. Yeah, I have to ask it.
Depends on what the business and product was.
I understand. Mia, it's always good seeing you, and thank you for just the amazing work of the Rotary. And we're looking forward to Rotary coming back in again periodically. Yes. It was wonderful. Jim, you're a community leader and a treasure, and really thank you for everything you do, and everybody at MCRD, and it just has a greater wingspan than that. So we're just honored to chat with you. One of the things I want you to think about, and if it's cool to do this, is the winner I'd love to have on the show. If that works for you.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
Okay. Yeah.
I will do everything I can to make that happen.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Yes.
And talk about that person's experience and why they, or I know there's 8. I'm not sure if I can have 10 on the same time.
No.
But we have some of it. So think about if we can make that happen.
Yes, I'm on it.
Very, very good. Well, another cool interview with you folks. Mia Harenski, president of San Diego Rotary Club, and Jim Gruny on the Rotary Club's military committee. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We're the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 19th year, brought to you by the wonderful folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. Thank you so much. Sarah Scott, our guest co-host today. She's the VP of Partnership for Defined Learning, and we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.